So we are on.
We're good. We're live, or-
If you would like to start, yes.
all right.
Yep, you're good. We're on.
All right. Good evening, everyone. This is the Village of Warwick Planning Board, May 12th, 2026. First thing we're going to do is stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Jesse Gallo,
Here.
Brian Barber is absent. Vanessa Holland,
Here.
Scott Brown,
Here.
Bill Olson,
I'm here.
and Matthew Lopinto.
Here.
We want to do Keith and
Keith Woodruff.
Here.
Sorry, Keith. And Brian, how do you say your last name?
Newman, N-E-W-M-A-N.
Brian Newman is our alternate attorney for this evening for the application.
So Kristen, I have a question before I read this.
Yes.
Because it says if you have only 3 board members
So
present.
Vanessa has to,
Okay, so she's
that
going to
first
recuse.
time.
yeah, so
Okay.
she's gonna have to recuse. So we're
True,
going to have.
But then we still would have
It's
4.
okay. Yes, they want you to.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. First thing on the agenda, or not first thing, but second thing on the agenda is acceptance of the April 14th, 2026 minutes.
I read the minutes and they reflect the meeting, so I move we approve the minutes.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, none opposed.
Before we bring up the application, I need to recuse myself because I'm neighbors with the current applicant.
Okay.
Okay, so Vanessa Holland is recusing herself for this application.
And then I have a note to read. It says, please note for the record that alternate member Matthew Lopinto is participating pursuant to 24-5 of the Village Code. Right. First and only application, 36 Oakland Avenue.
Hello.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Robert Kahulik. I'm the attorney for the applicant. And with me tonight, I've got several members of the LLC, which presently runs the restaurant, including Alberto Dantage.
Great. So what brings you here today?
So I guess I don't want to venture guesses to when outdoor seating started at the Warwick Inn. But certainly, once COVID hit, a lot of outdoor seating started to occur at the restaurant. I think in scope, it was much larger than it is today. Today, as we look at the plan, there's a patio that accommodates, those are 14 tables out front. And while nobody has said anything for many, many, many years, apparently is now turned up as a code violation. So we are here seeking site plan approval for the maintenance of the 14 tables and the patio.
And this wasn't an amendment, right? This is just original site plan approval.
This is
'cause
the original one. The surveyor, Mr. Schmidt, couldn't make it tonight, so we will have to take a lot of the comments that we have before us, bring them to our surveyor, and supplement the plan with all the information that's been requested. I think the big issue is the size. And I'm not an engineer, but eyeballing it, I don't think we are within the 580-something feet that would be permitted within the 15% rule. So we would ask for referral to the ZBA, allowing us to maintain the patio in its current size and configuration. Parking, we'll have to do the parking calculation and see what we've got and what we need, so we're not really prepared to address that issue just yet.
Right. Okay.
All the other notes and comments as far as additional information on the plan, we're more than happy to provide all that information. Very easy to do.
Great. Keith, do you want to just read through a couple of the other ones? I know obviously the
Yeah.
size was, like we said, the largest
Yeah, so-
issue.
Based on what he described, we're estimating it's probably about 1,500 square feet. I mean, obviously, they're gonna verify that, but it's well in exceedance of the 15%, which would be 525. The parking, obviously, is gonna be a component, so we're gonna have to have some kind of calculation to see what the restaurant needs, what the additional patrons outdoor seating, and then also you have the existing dwelling in the back, so all that needs to be taken into account for what's total required and what's provided. The planning board does have the ability to waive the parking, so that is something that you guys can take into consideration as well. Typically, that's when parking is within a municipal district, within a certain distance from the application. In this instance, there may not be.
Parking lots.
Yeah, just because of the location being on the outskirts of downtown. The plan should be detailing the size, type, and of the landscaping that's proposed along the northern end of the patio area. And then the board should also take into account if additional plantings would be warranted along or outside to the east along Oakland to screen the outdoor seating from traffic, as well as the parking lot. So because it's now a pre-existing non-conforming use of the eating and drinking establishment in a residential district, the planning board should take into consideration if the applicant should provide additional screening for the parking lots. Just because of there, and then there's also the gravel parking behind the paved parking area as well.
Right, and that's more because it's in a residential zoning, right? So,
Correct.
yeah, it's screening from adjacent residences.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a resident here.
Yeah, it's residential use all around.
The applicant should provide the hours of operation. We don't know as far as if there is a limitation or if the planning board would like a limitation on the outdoor seating, because it does lend to the performance standards that are in the zoning code. So lighting, noise, all the other nuisances that would be attributed to this use in a residential district should be taken into consideration from the planning board. But limiting the hours of operation could also be a mitigation effort to limit the potential impact of noise or lighting or any other ancillary uses of the outdoor. Obviously, if it's indoor, it's not as critical, but the outdoor seating could be something.
Is there lighting there now? Because you obviously have used it in
Okay,
the past.
can I add something? Can I talk?
Maybe. Depends what you're gonna have.
I'm here, as you know, probably since 2002 in Warwick. I opened Xanadu, where the Warwick, where the Grappa is. And when I came, they had no porch, and I did it. I bring new flair to the town at the time. I was the only guy, and after that, I bought 2006, I took over the Warwicken. Since then, the patio was there. I put the patio, I came to it, village here. I asked the upstairs at the office, Marion, I think if she was then, she told me, yes, you can do with your property. When I applied for liquor license, I did the drawing of liquor license as is for permit to be permitted to serve outside, because you cannot serve alcohol without
Right.
having the drawing. I did, it was approved. Since then, we have never problems. For during COVID, we add to this, we put around the tree, as you know, probably, you know. They asked us to take it down, I did, we did, definitely we did. So, about the parking, we have this parking since then, I don't think it's an issue. Another thing is, when summertime is, nobody will sit inside anyway. Those people who eat inside will eat outside anyway. So I don't think it's an issue with the parking lot whatsoever. But listen, we are on the stage. It's on your hands, and I hope I'm here to keep this place right. It's no music. The place open noon. We stop serving at 10. So I mean, that's what
There's no music outside.
no.
Sure, can I say something? My name is Alex, I'm one of the partners here. We also have additional parking in the back, if it's near.
I know. Well, just a mention. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think it's more for the procedural
Yeah,
to have
of course.
the parking count on the figure, just so we know what's
Yes.
required. Actually, it's not really a requirement, right? It's more of a,
I mean, it's both, just to show what is required and what is
Right.
being provided, just so that the board can take that into consideration.
Well, there's a
Right.
restaurant also in the residence above, right, or?
Yeah, it's an inn. Used to be
so-
100 here. Yes,
Yeah,
of course. Rooms,
so you
yes.
have rooms up there.
Yes, yes.
So would that take part in the
All
parking
the
calculation?
uses, all the uses on the property would be in part of that calculation.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, if you have any question, please ask me. I don't. Bob is here to represent us. I don't want to say something what will hurt me, and I hope I don't say something what is, But we just want to do business and bring people to this village, which a lot of people came from all over to support definitely the business, but also is good for the town and for the village, right?
What's the 15% limitation, Keith?
So because it's a pre-existing non-conforming use, the village in the code allows the continued occupancy and non-conforming use with the ability to expand the use up to 15%. Beyond that would be part of a variance that would have to be obtained for that additional use. So based on the square footage, I mean, I'm running rough estimations. It's
We're
like-
1,100. They did it today, we're 1,100 square foot.
But what the existing building footprint is.
Right, but the patio that's out front now is 1,100 square foot.
So
Patio.
based on a building square footage of 3,500, that would equate to 525 square feet that they would be permitted to expand the use under that 15%.
without any sort of zoning.
Correct.
Right. And that's just on the restaurant part of the square
It's on
footage?
any non-conforming use. So if this was a retail use, or even just using the restaurant as the better example, if they wanted to expand the building itself, they could put on an expansion up to 15% of the footprint.
Right.
Now, is this only for the front? So if the patio was on the side, would it make it different?
No.
No.
No. And that, I guess, that's another clarification. This one shows a patio on the side, so I'm assuming that's not
No,
being
you're not
used?
sure that- No.
Right, so that would probably need to be specified on the plans too, is that, this area is not for seating.
No.
Yeah. Because that would be adding to the amount over.
There's no seating here in the patio, right?
No.
No,
Oh,
currently.
okay, so it's just a walkway.
Just a walkway.
Yeah.
Maybe you should take that word off.
Yeah, it has to be noted
put that
that.
over there because
could call
was too
it-
many things just
We could call it a
protecting.
sidewalk
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
protecting
Just
the
take the word off there. So
the board. Oh, okay.
Yeah, 'cause it says
I
patio.
I didn't even
Yeah.
see it. I didn't even see it, but anyway.
When was this patio built? Like how old?
2006.
2006. Okay.
I mean, we've been there, we never had troubles, and always was good for the village, for town, I mean, it's an asset for business. And believe me, my taxes are very high, so it's okay. I mean, I cannot, let's Bob talk, I don't want to say nothing. I don't want to put myself in trouble.
Keith, did you have any other comments?
No.
Okay, then,
Yeah, so just going up, some of my comments are similar to what Keith had. And some from a more legal side, the property borders New York Route 94, and the actual improvements are less than 500 feet. So at some point, this will need to be a referral to the Orange County under GML 239M. The properties in the historic district, so this matter will need to be referred to the AHDRB. I'm not sure if you would do that before or after they go to the ZBA to see if they get a variance.
They could come next month. The historic AHDRB meets on the first Tuesday of the month, so you could come next month on the first Tuesday. And you can't come to the next CBA meeting because there's not enough time. You could come at the end of June, and that's the fourth.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
And, with regards to Secra, Will, Frank and I, my firm, took a look, and we believe that this would be, because the expansion of this, non-residential structure is under 4,000 feet, this would fall under a type 2 action under Secra, under 617.5 subdivision 9. So, and we believe the board can, pass a resolution, declaring this to be a type 2 action for Secra purposes tonight.
Okay. Would anybody like to make the motion for type 2?
Also move that we type this as a type 2 action under seeker.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So I think the next step would then be, you said the architectural board, that would be the next meeting, not the zoning?
Right, because it's the first Tuesday in June, so they could come to that meeting,
that
the
board, right.
AHDRB, and then they could come to the ZBA.
Later in the month?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we do that as one motion? Make the three referrals to the county and the architectural review board.
Do we have enough info
And
for the
ZBA.
county yet, if the plans?
Yeah, I don't see that much is gonna change. It's really just gonna be laying out the information, but, the improvements would only diminish.
Right, this will be, the largest, if anything.
Right.
All right. Yeah,
I'll make the motion that we make the three referrals necessary.
is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
I have to talk to our surveyor, but if we can amend the plan, and if you're going to have a June meeting, we're more than happy to come back to your June meeting, even though we're on our way to the ZBA as well, but that will give us another opportunity to fine tune the plan and make sure we're including all the information that you're seeking.
Yeah, and you would have gone to the architectural historic
Right.
review board by then, so you might have some of their input
Right.
as to what they'd be looking for.
So we could come back just to let everybody eyeball the plan again,
Yeah.
and then off to the ZBA.
You'll be in all three boards that month.
It's a busy June.
Okay.
yeah.
So procedurally, will any of those require a public hearing?
Well, maybe the ZBA might schedule it for a
ZBA.
public hearing right away.
And I
Oh, they're
think,
gonna
No,
wait.
you have to come see them first.
Okay,
Yeah.
we would be requiring one as well.
So we'll
not
have
for the
to,
next one.
Yeah.
No,
but
but
in the
during-
process.
during the
At some-
process,
At some
we'll have
point,
to-
you will hold a public hearing,
Yeah.
but not until they're done with the
Correct.
ZBA and all that.
Yeah. So it's a 2 probably.
yeah, but there will be an opportunity for the neighbors to comment. Good.
Okay,
All right.
Thank you.
thank you, have a good night, everybody.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks. This is yours?
It's the unfolded.
Thank you.
Bill comes with a large set.
He's good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night. All right. So the last thing is a motion to
No,
adjourn.
before we adjourn,
Okay.
I'd like to have a discussion about something. Everybody's probably aware of the Blaine Square development down on, across from Price Chopper. I had a discussion with the mayor, and he's extremely concerned about the potential impact of that development on Main Street. Traffic is also an issue, growth stimulation is an issue, so it's a major issue. If it's built as it's proposed, it can have a major impact on both the village and the town as a whole. Because it would mean that much of the shopping would move from village down to that area. So as I said, he's very concerned. He did ask me to bring it up to the planning board, and so that we could sort of have a joint voice speaking together. Possibly the town planning board is just beginning the seeker process. They're Yeah, come on up. They're now getting information to get into what will be included in the secret process. They're going through the scoping session, and they're accepting information from interested agencies and the public up until June 3rd, I think it is, at the scoping. So they're interested in what kind of issues which the village would like to have addressed in the EIS. My major concern, I suspect also the mayor says, what he said was very largely impact on the downtown Main Street. Anybody else? Got some thoughts on it?
I would recuse myself from. Like I said, I recuse myself from the conversation.
You do.
Yes.
In some way, I'd like to have the board write a letter to the town planning board expressing our concern, particularly on impact on Main Street and shopping.
Well, I guess it's two concerns that I've heard in conversation are water and sewer use. The existing sewer, as I understand it, on the other side of the highway is not anywhere near adequate.
Oh, okay.
And not expandable because of the wetland, I think.
Okay.
That's what I was told. It was
Okay,
it was
I'm not
limited.
aware of that, okay.
It was approved as a limited capacity because of the bog turtle. It
Well,
had
that's
to be.
Highland on the east side. on the
Understand,
west
but the
side.
existing sewage that could potentially be a solution for their requirements across the road is limited because it was required to be underground and of limited capacity
Understand.
for outflow reasons. So that means that there's got to be a new solution, sewer solution, on the other side, on their side of the road, probably.
I suspect that the Ford Place and ShopRite, both have individual septics. I don't know that,
Don't know.
but I would think they would.
I would assume that
Yeah.
would be the case. But also water, whether or not they can get sufficient water out of the water table there without affecting neighbors would be an issue. And if they can't, we might foresee them requesting to tap into some of the other local, our village water as a potential supplement to whatever they can draw out of the ground, which could be a potential impact for us.
okay, I hadn't
You know,
thought about that.
If they find that later on down the road and they come and say, hey, we got a problem, we need water, you know, that's
Good point.
it'd be hard to back out of that.
And please don't forget the letter that you sent to the village board.
We did address this, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Because it first came to us.
yeah.
I don't know if I noticed that. Well, should we send, as the planning board, should we send a note to because it's the town planning board which is going to develop in the environmental impact statement. And they're looking right now they're going through the scoping process up until June 3rd, I think it is. So the scoping process, they want to know what issues that the applicant should include in the environmental impact statement.
Now that I'm reading that, it looks like I remembered that discussion pretty well. So we discussed this when we were actually asked to consider it, and the route we took was to
Refer to the board.
refer it to the village to forward our concerns along with theirs to the town,
Okay.
which was done,
Yes.
I assume, right?
Yes.
And I think we were advised by legal counsel to do it in that
Okay.
That
format.
way.
Yes.
Because we're just in a board, like we're not the village board, so.
Does that cover all, I can't read it from here, but does that cover all the issues we
I think the
discussed?
concerns discussed were water and water was definitely included in there
Yes,
traffic.
water, sewer.
Sewer also.
But what about
Implications for
impact on
community.
on Main Street, shopping?
No, that's not. It's not discussed in that letter. So, and Brian can chime in when he feels so inclined,
Yeah.
but if the board was wanting to write a letter, you can identify the impacts that the seeker process would basically pinpoint. So the scoping document that the town planning board is requesting is really just what environmental impacts
Right.
that they're gonna ask the developer
Right.
to study. So they're not gonna come back with any answers right away.
No,
It's more of just,
This is-
so my recommendation would be to find those key components and then just make a recommendation as to the town planning board to have them take a deeper dive into those specific impacts. So like impact on land, impact on geological features, surface water, groundwater, and so on and so forth, which community resources is one, financial impacts. Those are key components that you can make recommendations
Right.
to the town planning board to have, or direct them to have the developer provide a detailed explanation as to.
Well, what about the impact on Main Street?
So that would be
Something
part of,
that-
Yeah,
Would that be the economic impact?
that would be part of the economic, aesthetic resources.
But it's kind of, so it's more, some ways it's one of the central things, I would think.
It could, yeah, so there's another one for open space and recreation, critical environmental.
Part of the
areas.
property is PDR, has PDR sign on it.
So the PDR is actually on the back part, closer to the drive-in portion
It's
of the
back there.
property.
I couldn't see it on the map, okay.
Yeah, so the town of Warwick does have a updated map that shows all the properties that have been through the PDR
Yeah, but
process.
I didn't see meets and bounds of it, okay.
Yeah, but the front portion that's closest to 94 is the portion that's being developed. It's just that the signs so happen to be put there
Yeah.
for visibility reasons.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, consistency with community plans, consistency with community character. Those are two other major components that the village could easily reach out and say
Mhm.
that those need to be taken into
Yeah.
consideration.
So how should we do this? Should we write a
That
note-
one I'm going to defer to Brian as far
write
as
another-
how.
Write another note to the town planning board?
Yeah, I think it would be sort of, you would basically do another note or letter to the planning board, basically identifying your areas of concern that you'd want to be focused on in the environmental review. I imagine you might discuss this with Liz, perhaps with Liz previously regarding the prior letter, so I'm just coming in a little new to this one, but I think what Keith said is pretty much is accurate. You would want to, and so basically, as I said, a note or letter to the town, identifying the issues that you've identified as of your concern.
You're right.
And that you think need further exploration in the environmental review.
Right, mm-hmm.
And those can also be done individually. It doesn't necessarily have to be done through the planning board.
But it-
Obviously, it carries more merit.
Carries more merit from the
Yeah,
planning board.
but that doesn't detract you from doing it also on a personal level.
Understand.
So who would draft a letter like that?
Hmm?
Who would draft a letter like that for us?
Oh, I guess it's me.
You could ask, Liz Cassidy, since she's your primary attorney, if she wants to weigh in on what she thinks might be, appropriate for a form of letter.
That seems like a good idea, because in October, she advised us
Yes.
not to write directly to the town planning board, but to refer our concerns through our village
Yeah.
Yeah, and so,
trustees.
right, so during that meeting, when we discussed the project, Liz advised what she felt the board should say, and then I wrote the letter. So perhaps you would like to wait until the next planning board meeting, because Liz is more aware of what the project is. Would you like to proceed
The next-
that way, or tell me exactly what you want
The
to say
next
in
plan,
this letter?
our meeting,
It's up to you.
next meeting for us is after they're accepting information to this, in the scoping up until June 3rd, I think it is. So our meeting will be after that.
Yeah,
Next
so they're
meeting.
having a public hearing for the scoping on June 3rd.
Third.
And written comment will be accepted up until June 5th.
Okay, so, but our meeting would be after that.
Right,
Yeah.
it's the 11th.
So we'd have to write something before that, before our next meeting.
You could always, put something together and then provide it to Liz Cassidy for her review and input as to what she thinks might be appropriate to include, and, if, how, so as a way to keep her, as a way that she's aware of, what the board intends to do.
Okay,
And also, since Jesse is recusing himself from this letter, I'd have to ask her how she would like to handle that. Who is this letter going to be from?
okay.
So there are a few issues.
Okay.
What were you thinking you'd like to put in this letter if it was?
Well, things which we just discussed tonight, definitely the most critical, most important is the impact we'll have on Village Main Street. And
Economic
this is,
impact,
Yeah.
traffic impact,
Character impact.
Character and
Consistency.
sewer and water.
sewer, water for sure, but as village issues are not so much the sewer and water, villages is exactly the impact on,
Well, if they ask to tap into our
That's
water
right.
supply,
That impacts
it's a
us,
significant
for sure.
impact.
well, okay, but our water supply is up.
It couldn't hurt to add it, right?
No, couldn't hurt
The
that.
more ammo we have,
But, village water comes from the mountains up on Brady Road.
How's that relevant? How is that relevant? If they ask to tap into our water, they're gonna use some of our water supply.
But this is much down below.
So if they were to tap into the water, they would extend the water mains down 94, coming from the
And
Pioneer.
that'd be a different story. If they're tapping into the village water system,
Yes.
that'd be, yes, then, yes.
That was my point.
Oh, okay.
So how, Brian, how would this work if Jesse, the chairman, is recusing himself from this letter? Who would it be coming from? The board members?
Yeah,
would we all sign the letter?
Is there a designated vice chair or deputy chair?
You would have.
No, it's the seniority depending
Yeah.
on, who-
And
for a
Jesse
particular
would
meeting.
have to designate that person, the most senior
Yeah,
person,
right,
and
so-
it's,
And
Couldn't it
that's-
just be from the planning
Bill.
board, the Village of Warwick Planning Board, and
Yeah.
not be a particular person?
Yeah, it could be basically, it would be based, in this case, it would probably then be from the planning board as a whole, and then
Right.
the planning board members would all sign it.
okay.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Of course, assuming that all the planning board members are on board with sending the letter.
Right,
Or Bill would sign it as vice
right,
chair.
Yeah, yeah,
right, because he's the most senior member.
yeah.
Well,
that-
Jesse-
that-
apart from Jesse, yeah.
That could also, you could also do it that way. There could be a designation of, the most senior member basically signs in the absence of the
For the board.
chairperson, in which case then you can sign on behalf of the whole board.
Okay,
Is that what you would like? To have Bill sign it?
fine by me.
On behalf of the board,
Yes.
as the vice chair? Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I would do.
Okay,
Okay,
yes, okay.
Sure.
Would they have to make a motion for that?
And does it have to say that Jesse has recused himself from this letter?
Right. There would need to probably be maybe a motion basically indicating that Jesse has recused himself from this letter, that Bill Olson, as the next most senior member of the board, is designated as the person authorized by the board to sign this letter on the board's behalf.
okay.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Now, can I ask you this?
Sure.
So since Vanessa Holland can weigh in on this, is Matthew allowed to second it? How are you, because he's
Oh,
the
I'm
alternate.
Oh,
Am I still alternate? Turn you to alternate?
so Matthew was subbing in for Vanessa for Prime 36.
Right,
So
but
now
now
Vanessa's-
she's back, so.
Right.
What if
I can,
Jesse's
if it makes it
recusing
easier,
himself?
I can
Well,
step back.
What if Jesse's recusing himself?
We still need 4.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'd be, So the minutes reflect that.
Good lord.
That for the purpose of this discussion, Matthew has basically been taking Jesse's place as alternate, as Jesse is recusing himself.
Fantastic.
Okay, okay, thank you.
So you're chairman.
Okay,
Whatever you
good. I covered all the possible
Smart.
bases.
Okay.
Do we need to put this on the agenda again for next month, or is that gonna be too late?
It'll be
It's too late. It's gonna be done.
Make it move.
Yeah.
It'll be
Yeah.
after the fact.
So since the board voted to direct it, I'll send Liz an email with the part 2 EAF, which has all the itemized items
That'd
that
be great.
theoretically the board, as a lead agency, would go through as far as the EIS to determine the significances for impacts. And then she could distribute to the members, and then you guys can kind of pick and choose the key components you want to highlight.
Thank
And
you,
then this way, she can put the letter together for the board.
Perfect.
Okay.
thank you, Keith.
That's why he gets paid big bucks.
Yes, that's right.
And thanks in advance to Liz for,
That's right.
yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you, Scott.
All right. So we good for adjournment now?
Can I recall a discussion we had with the Noble Pies folks when they came in with their site plan to get it approved? I did not go back and look at the minutes. Did they tell us that they were not going to do in sit-down dining? There was a parking discussion, I believe.
It was-
And I think they said, don't worry about it, we're mostly gonna be takeout.
No, no. They did talk about sit-down dining. If I recall, I'd have to read back through the minutes. But I think, is that the only thing that you're trying to recall?
Basically, yeah, because now they've got a sign out front that said, we're now serving breakfast and lunch.
Right, and that part.
And they're
they
packing
didn't-
people into
and
the
that-
dining room.
And that part they did not.
I think we
In
talked
the
about
meeting minutes.
outdoor seating. Oh,
But isn't that a
Not there.
code, isn't that a code enforcement issue?
It would be, yeah.
Anyway,
It would be.
so,
Yeah, it would
Yeah.
be code enforcement in that if they think they're, and the code enforcement determines they're in violation of the code and they wanna change things around, then they would come to the planning board.
right, so that would be Boris.
I just wanted to recall what it was that, when we approved their site plan,
I think there was just a change.
They did have seating inside, but you are recalling correctly. They did not say that they were going to be serving,
sit-down meals,
breakfast
Right.
and,
yeah.
On the
Eat
application they
breakfast and
submitted, it
dinner.
does say that they were painting walls, moving counters, seats, and table.
yeah, they have seats and
Yeah.
tables, they have the seats and tables inside, but they didn't say that they would be serving like breakfast and dinner,
Right.
right?
I
Wasn't
didn't think
that
they were
it?
cooking in there.
Yeah.
I thought they were just bringing it
There
from
was no
the
cooking
lake
in there. They-
to serve.
Yes,
And to
that's,
have
that's what they,
office, it
that's
was
what-
like office,
They did say
idea,
that-
you could sit and have a cup of coffee and a piece of pie while you're at work.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is how they
They're
presented
doing the
the
cooking down at,
application.
down 94, the other place.
I don't think
Okay.
that place exists anymore, it's down in Greenville Lake, I don't think they're in Meadow Crest
Okay, well-
anymore, but yeah, still.
I just wanted to put that on the table and maybe put it in your ear for upstairs.
Yes, that's a board. Mhm.
Okay. Thanks.
Oh, yes, absolutely, I will.
Anything else?
Move to adjourn?
Is there a second? Bill seconds, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Adjourned.
So was the reason I was sitting here?
Oh, hold on,
It was because I had to leave.
we're still
Wait.
on,
Alright,
we're
we're still
still
on.
on the